This video is going to be a little different from what I usually do on this channel, because I can't not believe what just happened last night. Okay, if you don't watch hockey, I don't really expect you to know what's going on here. Okay, but I have my laundry going on in the background and everything. I really just don't care because I cheer for one of the worst teams on the planet, bro. Toronto Maple Leafs. Okay, you see this logo? I'll stand up a little bit for you. You see this logo right here? This logo, this team that I cheer for, has been the direct source of pain, suffering, and negativity for myself and a lot of others over the last few decades. I have been a Toronto Maple Leafs fan. I don't really talk about it much on the channel. I've been a Toronto Maple Leafs fan and a hockey fan since I came out the womb. I started skating when I was 5 years old, started playing hockey when I was 6. And all my life, okay, my desktop wallpaper, for crying out loud, okay? Look at this. My desktop wallpaper is a Toronto Maple Leafs logo, bro. Toronto Maple Leafs logo, okay? I cannot explain how much I love and hate this team. And like I said, for those of you who don't watch hockey, you guys have no clue what the hell's going on. That's okay. Just watch, just listen to me rant, okay? If you're unfamiliar with the NHL or with hockey in general, there's a regular season of 82 games. 82 games. The best 3 teams, there's 4 divisions across the league. The best 3 teams in each division go to the playoffs, and there's also wild card spots, but we don't really have to go into that. The best 3 or 4 teams, we'll say, in the playoffs make it through, or sorry, in the regular season make it through to the playoffs. And so the best teams in the divisions go head to head in the playoffs in a round of robin until there are 2 teams left and 1 team takes it all, the Stanley Cup. The Toronto Maple Leafs, the team that I cheer for and have cheered for my whole life, have not won a Stanley Cup since 1967. 1967. We're in 2024, meaning it's almost 60 years now since the Leafs have won a Stanley Cup. I was just telling this to my friends, yes, last night. The moon landing, where Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin landed on the moon. A huge, massive achievement in human history. Buzz Aldrin and Neil Armstrong landed on the moon in 1969, meaning that the moon landing is more recent than the last time this team won the Stanley Cup. Okay? So, the Toronto Maple Leafs go up against the Boston Bruins, an arch rival of the Leafs. An arch rival. We've gone up against them many times in the playoffs in the last decade or so. We've lost to them many times in the last decade or so. So we go into this series, and within the first 4 games, I'm really fast tracking this series, but within the first 4 games, there were injuries on our team. There were very crucial players out of the lineup. There was heartbreak. There was shambolic performances. There was cheering. There was sighing. There was depressing matters. In the first 4 games, we go down 3-1. Boston won 3 games. The Leafs only won 1. Keep in mind, the playoffs are first to 4 wins, meaning Boston was 1 win away from winning it all. So game 5 comes around, and I have never been so pessimistic about the Leafs in my life. You can ask any of my friends, anybody that I know. I've never been so pessimistic. I went into game 5 with zero expectations. I thought they were going to lose that game, game 5. I thought they were going to lose. I thought the series was going to be over then, and I would be able to have my sanity in order without expecting anything from the Leafs. Well, the Leafs played a very good game in game 5 and ended up winning. And that was even with Auston Matthews, which is at this point a more of a household name, even if you don't really watch hockey. Auston Matthews was out of the lineup for game 5 and game 6, but an absolutely crucial player to our lineup, gone. And we won the game, making the series 3-2 to Boston. I really do apologize if this isn't usually what I post, by the way. I know it's ASMR or whatever, but I need to rant, okay? I just need to rant, and then I can be done with it. So we go into game 6. I was at Maple Leaf Square for game 6 and game 7 and game 5, I think. And it was so much fun. So much fun being there, especially for game 6, because they won it again. They won game 6 with an in dominant fashion as well. Our goaltender, Joseph Woll, was absolutely outstanding. We were also missing Auston Matthews again. William Nylander, one of our better players in the playoffs, was outstanding. He was amazing the entire 4 games that he played, because he missed the first 3 due to, I still don't really even know. It hasn't even really been confirmed. It's something to do with potential concussions or migraines, whatever. So we win game 6. Keep in mind we were down 3-1 in the series. And now all of a sudden we're going into game 7. The series is tied 3-3. Whoever wins this next game wins it all. And I say wins it all, but they just move on to the second round, which is something that my team cannot seem to do for the life of them for whatever reason. But anyways, I go into game 7, and I actually am starting to get my hopes up a little bit. I'm starting to get my hopes up a little bit, because the whole narrative that's being pushed after that game 6 win is that the Boston Bruins did the exact same thing last year. They were down. They were up 3-1 in a series against the Florida Panthers, and they lost 3 in a row and blew it in game 7, and then got eliminated in the first round. So the fact that Boston had done that only the season prior and had the potential to do it again this year is what got my hopes up. And the fact that this team this year was gritty, strong, hitting guys, leading every single team in the NHL playing in the playoffs in hits. That I don't know when the last time that's happened for a Toronto Maple Leafs team, but it couldn't have been for a long time. They were leading the league in the playoffs in hits. They had the most hits out of any team in the playoffs. The team was strong, gritty. They were hacking at guys, slashing people, slamming people into the boards, hitting them hard. Some of our defensemen, Joel Edmondson, that we picked up as a free agent, or no, we traded for him actually in the trade deadline, got better and better and better and better in the series. Was nailing guys, absolutely flattened one of the best players in Boston, Pasternak, in game 7. Jake McCabe, who seemingly has an absolute steal of a contract, was sensational this year in the regular season and in the playoffs. Sensational. Ilya Lyubushkin, another guy we picked up, was fantastic. Had 3 assists. Max Domi, a sensational free agency signing. was tied for, I believe, tied for the most points from a Leaf in the series. Tyler Bertuzzi, another good. The guy's jersey. I'm wearing the guy's jersey. Tyler Bertuzzi. Another absolutely, another guy who got better and better throughout the series. William Nylander. A demon in the playoffs. An absolute demon, okay? Game 7 comes. 2 periods go by. I'm sitting in the Maple Leaf Square with my friends. 2 periods go by with 0 goals. 2 full 20-minute periods with 0 goals. It was back and forth action. Basically felt like a game of tennis. One team would go down with a scoring chance, and the other team would do a counterattack and do the exact same thing. We had Ilya Samsonov in net, who was horrible in the first few games of the series. Joseph Woll was an absolute king in like game 5, game 6. I don't know if he played game 4. I don't think he did. Game 5 and game 6, he was unstoppable. Nothing got past this guy. Brick wall. And unfortunately, he went down with an injury at some point in game 6. We had to go with Ilya Samsonov. So the third period comes around, and Samsonov is actually doing well. The team is flowing. Like I said, it's back and forth, back and forth. 10 minutes goes by. No goals. There's so much noise going on up in my house, but I really don't care at this point. I just need to rant, get this video out, and we will proceed with the regular stuff. Ilya Samson, 10 minutes goes by and we're in the third period. An absolutely beautiful setup on the boards from Austin Matthews over to William Nylander, who one-times it top shelf past Jeremy Swayman, who's the Boston's goaltender, who was absolutely sensational this whole series. And we're leading 1-0 in game 7. We're leading with 10 minutes left in the third period. The Leafs square went off. We were all celebrating so hard because we're winning in game 7 against the Boston Bruins, an arch rival of this team. What happens not 80 seconds later? Before the crowd, before the square even stopped celebrating, we were still cheering on. The goal was being announced by one of the goal announcers, and Boston scores, tying it up 1-1. I don't even remember who scored it. I think it was Trent Frederick, that little rat. Boston ties it 1-1. 90 seconds, not even 90 seconds later. And I'm sitting there absolutely crapping myself because we've been here before. Boston's been here before. And most of the times that we've been here, we haven't been the ones to come out the other way. So the third period finishes. Time elapses. And we go into overtime. Next goal wins it. If you want to call it golden goal because you're a football guy. Overtime. And the whole intermission, I'm saying to my friends, this is either going to be the most Toronto Maple Leafs way of winning this series, or the most Toronto Maple Leafs way of losing it. To come back from a 3-1 deficit in the series is an achievement in itself. To crawl back from being on an elimination game twice in a row and still be in it to force game 7 is sensational when missing crucial players in your lineup. We come to overtime and it starts, and I'm talking to my friend the whole time saying, bro, I can't believe this is happening. I'm crapping myself. And not even 2 minutes into overtime, Boston scores. Not even 2 minutes in. They gave this fan base, this Leafs fan base, okay? And I'm going to say this as a biased Leafs fan, but I truly do believe this is the most magical and one of the best fan bases in all of hockey and in most of North American sports. There are Leafs fans all over Canada, all over North America, all over the world. The Scandinavian countries love the Leafs, especially Sweden. I know Russians that love the Leafs. I know guys from the UK who stay up till 2 in the morning watching Leaf games on weekdays during the regular season. And they blew it. They blew it again. And I don't know why I made myself believe that this year felt different. I don't know why I did that. Because at the end of the day, they will always be the Toronto Maple Leafs. You can take a player off the Toronto Maple Leafs, but you can't take Toronto Maple Leafs out of a player. I don't get it, bro. So, the Leafs are out again in Game 7 of the first round. And now, a serious question has to be posed. Who leaves in terms of the management and who gets traded? And if it was up to me, Sheldon Keefe, the head coach, is gone. I wouldn't be surprised within the next week we see something about him being gone. Brendan Shanahan, the president of the Toronto Maple Leafs, is gone. At some point during the season, Mitch Marner, who was absolutely invisible this playoffs, the playoffs before that, the playoffs before that, and the playoffs before that, is gone. You trade him. He has a no-move clause in his contract. You need to seriously consider trading that guy and seeing what you can get for him. John Tavares also has a no-move clause. You either trade him at the deadline or you keep him with the intention of re-signing him for maximum $4 million a year. Maximum. He is currently making, I think, 10.5, maybe 11 a year. You do not re-sign him for more than $4 million. $4 million might even be too much. Maybe 3.5. Maybe he takes a pay cut, goes down to 3 flat. He is a player. I'm going to see if I can bring up the stats right now. Okay. John Tavares, a great leader. A great leader on this franchise. A great player who has been on the Leafs for now going on 8 years. Okay. He got 65 points this year in the regular season. 65 points. And he's making $11 million. No player in this league should be making $11 million and only get 60-something points. He's not good enough anymore. I know he's a leader. I know he's a Toronto boy. He's not good enough. Mitch Marner, an absolutely elite player in the regular season. One of the best playmakers in the league, if not the best playmaker in the league. He is not good under pressure. And he's proved it again and again and again. He's not good enough under pressure. He can't perform in the playoffs. He needs to go. Brad Treliving, the general manager of the Toronto Maple Leafs, needs to go to both of those guys. They're not boys anymore. Both of those men. and say, listen, I know you have a no move clause in your contract, but I didn't sign that contract with you. I need to do what's best for the team, and we are considering trading you. Will you waive your no move clause? And if you do, what teams do you want to be traded to? If it matters at all. Because we are not going to win anything with this core, with this management, with these players. I've spent the last 12 hours ranting about this team. Last 12 hours. And you know why? You know why I have? It's because I care. It's because I care. I grew up just outside Toronto. My whole life I've been here. My whole life I've cheered for this team. And if there's anything I would love to see before I leave this planet, is for the Maple Leafs to hoist the Stanley Cup. I cannot confidently say that in my lifetime that will ever happen. I can't confidently say that. My father has been a Leafs fan since he was a child. He has not, with his own eyes, also ever seen this team win a Stanley Cup. He's seen a lot more from the Leafs in the postseason than I have, but he's never seen them win it. Like I said at the beginning of this video, 1967 is the last time this team won the cup. So I don't know. I'm glad I'm not the general manager. I don't know what you have to do to get this team to perform in the postseason. But I think it starts with the management. I think the coach has to be gone. I think Shanahan, the president, has to be gone. And those two guys, Marner and Tavares, need, at one or both of them needs to be traded. Now, guys, you need to re-sign. Max Domi, absolutely sensational in the playoffs. Absolutely sensational. Bertuzzi, I could take him or leave him. He was good. And honestly, I would love to have him again. Another guy who was hugely missed in this playoffs was Bobby McMahon. A really solid young player. Matthew Nyes, my God, a fantastic young player. 21 years old. Had, I think it was either 3 or 4 points in this series. Absolutely sensational, okay? The depth is there. The defense is there. The goaltending is questionable. If I swear to God, if they re-sign Ilya Samsonov for next year, I'm burning this jersey that I'm wearing. I'm burning it. That guy is one of the most unreliable goaltenders the Leafs have had in the past decade. You did not know which side of Samsonov you were going to get every single game he played. He wasn't good enough. He wasn't good enough in the regular season. He wasn't good enough in the playoffs. Those first few games that Samsonov was in the crease, he let in some questionable goals. And since that man got to this team, I said his positioning is nothing shorter than questionable. He gets caught out of his crease way too often. He gets caught swimming back and forth in the crease too often. It's almost as if he doesn't know where the net is. That guy needs to be gone. But listen, I've been recording for a while now, and if there's one takeaway from this playoffs, if you're a Leafs fan, if there's one takeaway from this playoffs that I want you to go away with, this is this core of players has proven that it cannot be done in the postseason. So the core needs to change. The core needs to change. And if it doesn't, and if we go into the playoffs next year with the same core group, I'm not watching the playoffs. I'm not watching it. Because it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Thank you so much for watching. We will resume tomorrow with the regular stuff. I can't believe it. It felt different. It felt different.